What's more awkward than staying at a friend's house and waking up before them? Thinking somebody rang the door to your apartment and so you open the door but nobody is there except some guy walking down the hallway and he happens to be walking by your door and you make eye contact with him then close your door. Their parents fighting. Parent beating the crap out of your friend while you are still in the room. Or worse, your friend beating his elderly parent's disabled sibling. Getting your period at a friend's house in the middle of the night. Staying the night with a friend and her bed was just a twin, so we decided to share her older brother's bed, which was a queen. He wasn't gonna be home. Well, I started my period in the middle of the night and left a stain on his sheets. I heard about that for the next couple years in high school. I work at a pool. I did the locker room check and saw my 9th grade teacher naked. We locked eyes. He recognized me, then in full nude started a conversation with me. We talked for 10 minutes before I managed to leave that conversation. Nothing happened aside from us talking, for all of you with dirty minds. He was asserting his dominance. Staying at a friend's house and waking up with them sitting in a chair by your bed and watching you sleep. Lol, this was my college roommate, so creepy. Being out of everyone's conversation. Then you try to join in and there's further awkwardness with a brief silence. Clogging a toilet in a public bathroom, at a friend's house or at a parent's friend's house. Clogging a public toilet isn't too bad. I once clogged a toilet at work. The log wasn't going anyway and I was actually quite proud. Woke up to my friend's parents both naked. Their mom was naked on the couch smoking a cigarette and playing Tetris. The dad came walking out of their bedroom naked and went to the kitchen and made himself breakfast. I just turned around and went back to the room and went to sleep. Just like nope, not ready for this. Wetting the bed at said friend's house. I did not need to be reminded of this. Having their little brothers and sisters wake you up and then realize 3 things. You are on your back, you have no blanket, and you have an erection. I've had a friend's younger sister get into bed with us. We were sharing a double bed, and pee where I was sleeping. My friend didn't wake up and no one else noticed except my friend's brother, who was waking up for football practice. I had to get dressed at 5 AM and the brother let me sleep in his bed, lol. Their mom asking if you're hungry but you declined even though you're starting to feel hungry. Then you can't ask for food because you already declined. So you wait for your friend to wake up and have breakfast together. It's even worse when you're shy. Strongly relate, stayed at a friend's house and woke up around 7:30 in the morning, went to use the bathroom then walk out and as his mom asked me if I was hungry I said no, then my friend wakes up 30 minutes later. I decided to have breakfast with him but on the inside I'm dying from embarrassment. I was very shy around new people or if I wasn't comfortable with the situation. Having a little kid stare at you through the crack in a bathroom stall door who then cries after you say bruh. Never experienced this, and I don't want to. That's creepy as frick. Your friend being yelled at by their parents and the parents trying to drag you into it. Friends' parents, I've absolutely had enough of your behavior, Taylor. This is just ridiculous. Look, Furphy Murphy, you're his best friend. What do you think of all this? Everyone looks at you. I dunno really. Desperately avoiding all eye contact. Peeing your pants while someone is tickling you. I had bladder control issues as a kid. This made me uncomfortable. Seeing someone you don't know waving at you in a crowd. So you wave back then realize they weren't waving at you, but someone behind you. Starts awkward, ends worse. Being at a friend's house while your friend's family is in the house and your friend is not. This is why I like to try to get to know my friends' families. That way it turns into a different but equally delightful experience rather than an awkward situation. When you hold open a door for someone completely misjudging the amount of time it'll take for them to get there. Yay. I do this and people always say just let it go. I'm so stubborn though, that I just hold it. Saying goodbye and then walking in the same direction. That's why you always let them start walking away first. Then you go in a different direction, even if it's the wrong way for you. Saying hi to someone you're just acquainted with who is scrolling on their phone and they don't hear you. Now you're thinking, are they ignoring me? BC, they are doing something important on the phone? Did they not hear me at all for the same reason? Do I assert myself, risking that I may annoy them? It would look so much worse to not follow up at all in front of all these PPL who just saw and are secretly waiting to see how this awkward social situation will turn out. In 5th grade, Eric put my hand in a warm glass of water at a sleepover in the hopes of making me wet the bed. At some point in the night, the glass was upturned and spilled to soak my t-shirt from the stomach down. He claimed to the others that I pee myself, but nothing smelled of pee. Everyone acted disgusted when I asked them to smell my shirt to prove him wrong. It was to be a bad year at school. Eric is currently doing 2 years for assault in the Southwest. Frick you, Eric. You may have convinced everyone I had a weak bladder 23 years ago, but at least I didn't wreck my life over some little bar spat. Having someone stay over at your house and waking up after them probably. What's worse than both is staying over at someone's house and sleeping in significantly later than them. Nothing I hate more than waking up and everyone else is busy doing other crap, and as soon as you enter the room they all stop and say, look who's finally up, good morning sleeping beauty, or some variation. This freaks me out because my friend and I could be doing some fun crap, but I'm being boring and sleeping. Then I have to go through someone else's house half asleep just to find everyone. Bonus points if everyone else is dressed as well. When my dad and stepmom first started dating, I got along really well with my stepsister. We wanted to have a sleepover after their first official date. The next morning we were eating ice cream and I finished, and then asked her if I could have another bowl. She threw a fit that I was eating all of her ice cream. Her mom told her I was a guest and that there was always more ice cream. Then my stepsister cried out, well, when is she leaving? Yup, I'd say that was significantly more awkward. That's just plain sad. Pooping in their toilet and then finding out it won't flush. Yay, we all poop. Or just needing to poop at someone's place and their toilet is right next to the living room or wherever everyone is. I would say when you wait for the teacher to finish talking to another person, so you can ask them to use the restroom when you really need to go. Basically, would you rather just save up the embarrassment and just go back to your desk, possibly resulting in somebody else going in the line to ask, or do you just wait there awkwardly while the teacher is finishing up their conversation? This is why when I was in high school I would just interrupt and tell them I'm going to the restroom, and if they said no I went anyways. I was polite about it, but I'm not gonna pee my pants cause they are being dongs. When it's 3 AM, not sleepy anymore, and there is no Wi-Fi. Then when you get sleepy, you have to get up. Getting caught masturbating while staying at a friend's house. Better than your mum catching you though. Staying at a friend's place and not waking up. That's called murder. Being the first one to walk into a classroom with a teacher in it. Since it's your class, you can't just leave once you walk in. But you look like a lonely idiot with a teacher trying to make small talk with you until others come in. As a teacher, I just say hi to the student and sit there quietly unless they talk to me. Awkward small talk is the worst. There's no way I'm going to force a student to suffer through that. One night when I was about 16 I was staying over at my best friend's house. I slept in her older brother's room because he was gone all weekend. Well, lo and behold at 5 AM he comes home drunk off his butt, goes to his room. I wake up as he's stripping his clothes off and about to crawl into bed naked. I couldn't even make words, I felt so awkward I just said up. Basically the teen groan. And he just put his underwear back on and said, oh my god, I am so sorry. I very quickly got out of his bed and went to my friend's room. When I woke her up and explained what happened, all I hear from his room is sorry about that, incredibly awkward. But we were able to laugh about it in the morning. I thought he was hot at the time, so I can't really complain about him almost crawling into bed with me. Hearing their parents humping their parents. Saying the wrong answer in class with confidence and realizing it is wrong. Having a friend scream at their mum for 5 minutes about some small thing that slightly annoys them. This happened so much that I ended up getting used to it and just carrying on with whatever I was doing at the time. My ex in high school threw tantrums a couple of times when she was hungry and the food wasn't ready yet. She would lock the door to her room, so I would kinda awkwardly hang in the living room while her parents would try to console her. Sitting in a public space for a while and realizing that your pants weren't pulled up enough, leaving your ass crack visible. It's even more weird when sometimes you'll get the feeling that your ass crack is showing but it really isn't showing and you're just being paranoid. Replying all on an email thread that was definitely intended for only one of those people. That scenario, but naked. That scenario, but naked. Trying to walk past someone on the sidewalk but you obviously underestimated their stride, so now you're gasping like a walrus and you're doing it right next to them. Blowing the toilet up and someone going in immediately. That's the worst. And then watching them try to not have a reaction to it. Crashing at your friend's place and waking up to hear him watching pee, especially if you stomp around and slam the bathroom door a couple times to get the hint but he just keeps on jerking it. Some classmates used to jerk off together when they hung out. They wouldn't touch each other, just doing their own thing on their phones next to each other. I eat in really small intervals. It's how I've always done it. My friend's mother took us to Chili's and I got a burger. I ate like maybe a quarter and I put it into a to-go box. We get back to his house and I'm feeling mildly peckish. So I go to their pantry and grab some fruit snacks. His mother noticed. A few minutes later, he was called into the living room and was yelled at for about 15 minutes about how ungrateful I was that I went into her pantry and ate right after her buying me some dinner. Steve, thanks for defending me, but I'm sorry you got slapped. I think I was in 5th grade. I cried. I know I was in the wrong. Should have eaten more of my burger, but I never liked going to Steve's house after that. Either that or when Steve's PTSD-ridden father pulls a gun on you at 2 AM because you tripped the silent alarm taking a leak. Poor Steve. Sleeping over at a friend's house in a bed with all white sheets and waking up to find your period has started. Replying you to when the waiter told you to enjoy your meal. I wonder if they have bets going for how many times they hear that a night. Accidentally shattering your friend's toilet. A few years back, some friends stayed over after a night of drinking. My friend's girlfriend went into the restroom. A couple minutes later a loud crashing sound comes from down the hall and out she comes partially wet, asking, sobbing, and you could tell by the look on her face she'd never been more embarrassed. Except the awkward moment when she asked for something to pick up what she had left in the toilet. True story. When you're in the bathroom trying to pee but there are two people having a full-on conversation and talking about gossip and crap. On one hand you get gossip, on the other you get extreme awkwardness when you come out of the stall. Really freaking awkward. Lol, this is golden. Staying at boyfriend's house and having to share a room with their parents. Most uncomfortable night of my life. To add that my boyfriend was in a different room. Staying over at a friend's house and their parents are arguing about why you're in their house. Waking up before them, going to the bathroom and walking in on their parents coming out of the shower, then sitting with your embarrassment whilst only that parent is awake and your friend has no clue. That's always why I lock the door if there is people that I don't know guests in my house. You have been visited by the IT lizard. Upvote or experience bad internet for a month. Like and subscribe, you magnificent person.